Welcome back to another gripping edition of Matters of the Heart with counselor, psychological performance coach, and he's a performer, I tell you.
Exactly.
Baki McCree. The man's got 2 degrees. All right, I always tell you, take advantage of this platform where it is free Q&A. So weighing on the topic, we're part of the conversation. The hot topic tonight, we're talking sexual predators and how the poor, vulnerable women get conned, but men as well, Baki.
Maybe the men want to be conned.
I tell you, I've got to share with my viewers. So my girls and I were chatting, this guy he was chatting with me, and I said, let's play this game. Let's see how far this goes, Lo and behold, ladies, be very, very aware. These guys are out to get the moolah to con you big time. So I know it's not the kind of topic where people's going to phone and say, oh, I've been scammed, I've been conned out of ... But this is more a program where Barky and I want to raise that awareness that it's big time. It is definitely on the increase, Barky.
I think the saddest part for me is, and because I'm male, it's a little bit more evident for me. But I think the saddest part for me is, Adiela, is that when I have support groups, or I've dealt with women in counseling for 26 years, you'll be shocked to hear or to see how so many women are naive even at the primary symptoms. We're not even talking the big symptoms, just the primary symptoms. So it just shows you a lot of women actually don't know the psyche of a male or how they operate, how they do things.
But we're here to educate you tonight.
It's actually, it's so, I'll give you, besides the famous word of grooming, just the primary way they groom you is by fixing your things, being supportive, all these kind of things. And nobody knows the agenda. And when you speak to a woman and you tell women, you do know that he's, got one thing in mind and he's been stalking you for a while. And then she says, no way, he's such a nice guy, he's always there. And then,
meanwhile, back at the
and so I think there's a little naive context where women are not aware about the intentions of most males.
So die vraag vanaand is, viewers, is it, like Barky mentioned, being naive, or is it desperation because they've been single for such a long period of time?
Or it could be in a psychological form. A lot of us, we tend to see others the way we perceive ourselves. So if you are kind, you go on the assumption that all people are kind, or this guy's only being kind, or he's a nice guy, or he's so helpful.
Daar is baie skroplappe dames, baie
It's a
skroplappe.
difficult situation for the women. How do you gauge and how do you basically?
It's difficult.
It's
difficult,
not easy.
Because these men prey, more so the widows, men prey on females.
No, once a year, the joke of it is in my counseling vibe is that the minute you are single, the minute you've been divorced, people are willing to throw in CVs, and it sounds like a joke, but it's ironic how quickly men will find out that you are available, and it's like they are on you. And what's the saddest part statistically in Cape Town? I can't talk for the whole world, but statistically in Cape Town, sadly, our biggest predators are married men. That ironically is what a lot of women are not aware of.
Hold that thought for a moment. Let's move on to the first comment.
Miss Z says we are very much aware. At least I am mostly ulterior motive.
They're aware of the motive.
Yes.
All right. We've got producer Sarah in the house tonight. Akila's on a short break. So, we're taking your questions live. So
I like that word motive. I think it's, when we talk about the genders, motives and stuff, it's really important for women to kind of suss out and figure out in whatever way suits you possible. What would be the motive of this guy? What's his intention? um, is it, where is this going as soon as possible?
Yeah.
Because the longer you, and women are so desperate sometimes, not for love per se, but
They're
more
lonely.
for I think more for attention.
Mm-hmm.
And predators have this, besides grooming you, a predator is very famous for grooming you. But I think besides grooming you, he is so good at basically making sure he makes you feel important by giving you a lot of attention at the beginning. And then women really are naive about that concept. You've had a couple of
extra slim.
You've had a couple of onslaughts where a couple of guys who told me were like thinking they're very smart, and the way they come with their whole idea of helping you be kind, and at the end of the day you can pick up this is going nowhere slowly, and so I think women should be more aware of what they want and
what the intentions are.
But also a woman who knows what she wants. It is very important that you empower yourself.
Yep.
So that you can be very, you can pick these things up easier.
Let's quickly move on to the next one.
Okay, Miss Z says the recruitment process is very strict. I can be lowly but not naive.
Yeah. So I think that's another key what she mentioned there, which is the context of naive. If you're naive, if you've been raised to be naive in a way where you think everybody's just amazing, everybody's good, and I'm sure this guy doesn't, have this intention, and I think it will bite you, like we say, bite you in the arse at a later stage. So it's very important that you equip yourself, not just with knowledge, but with a little bit of experience and a little bit of, let's say, knowing where you want to go in life, where you want to be. It is very important that you do that. And then that whole naive thing, you become a little bit stronger as to what's coming your way.
Can I tell you, so this particular woman, I'm just making an example. Well, it's a real story.
I think it's you.
Hierdie dame was net getroud vir 2 weke. And I teased and I said, oh my word, your EDUP period is longer than the marriage actually lasted. But short of a long story, she got married to some douchebag. She would come home, he'd be chilling, and he really thought of her as convenience, She's got the home, she's got the car, and this is just moving in, darling. Ladies, be careful, but with the men as well, I mean, it's different for the men because as women, we're supposed to be the queens of our homes and we're supposed to chill and stay at home. Maar vir die mans om dit te doen, rarig.
You see, the context of a predator when it comes vice versa is slightly different. Because how males are being tricked into this whole predatory thing, it's not in the same aggressive way a male does it. So the woman is a little bit more subtle. She'll cook for you, she'll feed you, she'll always be kind.
You've had that experience?
No, I'm just saying in general, you've got to pick it up early. And then the thing is, a woman can kill you with kindness. It sounds crazy, but with being supportive, kindness, all of that. And then it's very difficult for that guy to also figure out the agenda.
Just before we continue, Z, I'm going to give you 1 ticket to, if you've got a partner and you feel that he or she will really benefit, I might consider giving you 2.
How do you know Z's a female?
Ek weet nie, dis om ek kom
She's a female.
Yeah.
It's a lady.
It's a lady.
Okay. So sweetheart, I'm going to give you 1 ticket. The workshop is next week, Saturday. It's going to be held in Park Road, Wynberg, Saturday, 2:30 p.m. with Mad Max, Yamir, psychological performance coach, Baki McCree, and Salama Abbas. And it's going to be gripping. I promise you.
Z she responded, she says, I am a lady.
You're a lady. Okay. All right, lady, there's a free ticket coming your way, sponsored by AR Wholesalers. They have donated 5 tickets tonight, so 4 more tickets up for grabs, all right? Let's quickly move on.
Z says shukran.
For one, honey, and looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. And again, these workshops, they're pretty expensive. You're looking at up to 1,000 rand because it's a 3-hour workshop. But, you know, when I sat with Baki and Salama, we decided, you know, people cannot afford. And so therefore, thankfully, I've got clients that's donating every single week. And I'm able to give it to people that's really in dire need of these workshops that can in fact benefit and learn. All right, so you know, this is not the kind of show where people's going to phone in and say, you know, I've had this experience, because I think for some they would think of it as embarrassing, humiliating. It's not an easy thing.
It's also a reflection of their own inferiority complexes, because it's like they've been a victim of somebody.
And that's okay, because you're not alone.
That took them for a ride, or let's say groomed them and manipulated them. So manipulation, grooming, and also isolation are the big, you know, categories for you know, getting women to succumb to these kind of things.
But remember, viewers, thousands of people has walked this road. Thousands of people has gone down that journey.
They've lost a lot.
They have.
People have lost money.
Yeah.
People have lost their things,
their
you know,
pride,
their assets,
their ego.
And a lot of people have gotten hurt for a long time. And I think.
And that's exactly why. So our next topic Monday night, we're going to focus on singlehood and why people are so afraid to move on. This is one of the reasons.
No, you promised the people, you keep changing the topics. And I told you guys on Monday she's going to do that. She said next Monday we're going to talk about what is in love, what is it really, what is this in love story. And now suddenly the whole in love story is gone. So
okay, so just to give them a little bit of the flavor. Okay, no, we'll stick to what you've mentioned.
No, you
so for the viewers, what is love and what is being in love? Just very quickly off the topic.
No, I think the context of in love and love is, it depends on your love language. I mean, sometimes you can assume or feel that you feel the feeling of in love. And then it's not really defined in context that you are in love. It just means that you really feel such an immense feeling towards this person. Then by assumption, you would say, I'm in love. And this is why a lot of people get cynical. And if you ask them over a 10-year period, they would say, I've been in love a few times.
Yeah.
Which is quite, which is ironically it's not correct. It means you've loved a few people over a lifetime and you've cared for them. But I think deep down, you are still trying to figure out the context of what it is to be in love with somebody. And so a lot of people are now owning up in marriage, and it's, you don't even have to get divorced or be divorced to proclaim this. You would say that the person that you got married to, or the person that you most probably weren't in love with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people, it takes guts to admit that.
Mm.
So a lot of people, when I counsel them, they get to a point where they have to acknowledge, I don't think I was actually in love with him. Or he would say, I don't think I was in love with her, but I do care for her. I did care for her. Mm. She was the mother of my kids. Or he would say, or she would say, he's the father of my kids. But I only now know what love is.
Ironically enough, viewers, I met a lady yesterday. And she said, I love the shows, Adiela, and I'm learning so much. And I said, well, I'm very happy to hear that, because if one person can come up to you and say they've learned, great, we've done a good job, you know. But short of a long story, she said to me, she's been with this guy for 35 long years. 35 years.
That's a long.
Very long time. They've got 2 kids, but luister hier, they're living separate lives. Totally separate.
You know how many couples are, if you look at our communities, you know how many people are sleeping in different beds. You know how many people are divorced or separated, not divorced, but they're still in the same house. Logistically, financially, they're not able to part. So we are living in a time now where a lot of relationships are going through some strange times some strange phenomena. And it's got to do with equity, financial security, the children, the whole context of duty, all of that. And then there's also your religious foundation. And so a lot of people are stuck in
Do
certain
you remember
relationships. Yeah.
with our radio shows, we'd always say, and I promise you, every single show, when Bark and I would go like, Barky, what's the topic tonight? And this would be seconds before we go live and air, right?
Really?
And you would always tell me, I don't know, what do you think? And then I would go like, and tonight, the hot topic is Barky, and I'll throw it at him. it was hilarious, and then he would just say, oh, and
I think it was hilarious for
stressful for him. But the great thing is, Adnan always used to say to me, Jay doen die course, in die course, but the great thing is, ladies, I'm going to tell you, the key thing about upskilling yourself is that you're able to roll with the flow. You're able to, you've got to educate yourself. And again, I'm going to say that having knowledge is power, When you, and soos ek verlede week genoem het, when you have financial freedom, you have?
No, I think you have your independence, you have all these other qualities that comes with it. But I think for a lot of women, they find themselves, and this is why post-divorce, or even women in their late 30s, whatever, they find it very hard to find, to date and find partners.
And I want to ask you, before I move on to the next question, I want to ask you, do you then think that these females, I wouldn't say less educated, but that maybe hasn't gone the extra mile to upskill, are more prone to these sexual predators?
I think to some extent, but it's not got nothing to do with that. I'll explain afterwards.
All right, let's move on.
Khalid Felix is saying, I'm not sure if I can stay in a marriage with no love just for convenience. Yes.
Okay.
100%. And that's what I've been saying. Yesterday in our support groups, we were discussing this for briefly 10 minutes. And funny enough, the group was split. Half would stay for logistical reasons, or that they are pragmatic people. So some people can actually be with somebody for companionship, or for kindness, or for the fact that it's a friendship. Yeah. But it's not always about love. And then the half of the group are very romantic, and their thing was, no, if there's no love, no romance, no intimacy, it can't work. So our society is also split. Just like with politics, with everything, we are split. We always split based on our mindset, based on what we think would work for us. So for some, that's very romantic, want passion and all of that. You cannot be in a passionless relationship, in a non-intimate relationship. And you get somebody who's very pragmatic, structured, they can make it work. Coming home, just follow the rules, pay the bills, and they can die like that.
The humdrum.
They can live like that because life is serious, life is structured, life is about processes and logistics and boom, and then you've married somebody who's not like that, and the person's living a very sad or unhappy partnership or life with you.
Very common.
So it's really common. About what your personality is like, and what would suit you. So I was I could see the group was split, and it was kind of amusing because not everybody can be pragmatic and logical about these things.
I agree with Mr. McCree.
Wow.
But as we've aangesluit, we're chatting about sexual predators, but we're keeping it broad. So
relationship.
Basically, our show's all about relationships. So enige vragie is welkom pertaining to relationships, all right? And the thing about Barky and I, we're both flexible, we're both spontaneous, and so we always find that we choose a topic, and so as I always say back in the day, we'd find that the listeners, they would kind of drive the show. They would tell us what they want. So this is what the show is about. You ask the question and we roll with the flow, darling.
Let's go back to your comment earlier on before she was just giving the comment. You were saying that are people uneducated, this, that, and it's
Are
not.
they more prone?
You'll find that you could be the CEO of a company and you could be vulnerable. You could be naive. You could be. You know how many people have I counseled in my lifetime that's educated, that's got businesses. Just because in your career or in your professional life you are smart, but in the relationships you might not be as smart. You get somebody who can be an alpha male at work, a manager, a supervisor, a CEO. At home he's got like no backbone. His masculinity was taken away from him. You get women who are so strong. You could be the let's say top dog director at Checkers or wherever.
Holding a top
and
position.
then you come home and you can't make vital decisions in your own home. So it's really got to do with childhood trauma. It's got to do with your you know what happened when you were a kid. All of that stuff. Generational trauma, which we spoke about before.
Yeah.
So how you react, your point of reference, your thinking, your reasoning. And so some people are not as strong as you think they are in relationships. Otherwise, everybody would have awesome relationships and you wouldn't have so many dating sites. You'll have, look at any dating sites, and I'm not just talking about Tinder, the famous ones. I'm talking about any local dating site that you can think of. You'll be shocked who's on there. Psychologists, lawyers, accountants, doctors, you name it.
Yeah.
People who own companies. You still look at. I was watching a show the other night of Charlize Theron was making a comment, for instance, about how many times she's tried to find. I mean, these are famous people, and they've got money, they've got accolades, all of that. But in the romance game, in the love game, you might be a little bit inadequate, or your reasoning might not flip. You know how you should treat somebody, how you should be, and so a lot of people are single because of that. They haven't learned the tools of how to understand themselves, and also then how to understand a man or a woman.
Yeah. All right, Sarah, how many minutes have we got?
About
5 more minutes. Okay. Yeah, man. Farid, 1 ticket to you. So Z, Farid, 5 tickets tonight, sponsored by AR Wholesalers. And they're on the corner of Claude and David Street, Athlone Industria. 3 more tickets up for grabs. Let's move on.
I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, but Kadeen says hi, Edley.
Claudine.
Kadeen, yes. Kadeen.
Hello, welcome to the show. So the show again, weer eens, it's all about a relationship. As jy enige vraag het, take advantage of this platform. We've got a counselor, psychological performance coach, Baki McCree, and he's taking your calls live. But just very quickly to remind the listeners, next Saturday, 2:30 p.m. it will be held in Park Road, Wynberg. It's going to be a workshop with a difference. Don't miss out. Let's move on.
Kadeen is asking, how do I get a ticket?
Oh, honey, I'm just giving it to you, girl.
He's a guy.
It's a guy. Oh. All right. Okay. Give me one reason, Kadeen, as to why I should give you that ticket. I've only got 3 left, right? So if I'm going to give you that one.
Can I give you a tip? Just say she looks amazing. Just make a comment.
I don't have ego, so.
You look amazing.
All right, Kadeen. So before I'm giving you that ticket, let's hear it. So that's a ticket to Kadeen. We've got Farid. We've got
Z.
That's 3 tickets, sponsored by AR Wholesalers. We've got 2 more tickets up for grabs. Could be yours. So it's all about relationships. And Baki, just give them a taste of what they can expect next Saturday.
Yeah, I think the topic for next Saturday is
who am I?
It's a good one. I think it's about your identity. It's about who am I. I'll explain now.
Kadeen is asking, can I get my team to shoot the event?
Can I get
his team to shoot his...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No problem.
Can you
So,
just give a number for after the show?
okay, so my number 081 789 1094. Do you know that I was the only presenter at both radio stations whose number was always freely available?
Wow.
And I'm so fortunate I had no wackos or weirdos.
I wonder why.
I've always been very passionate about helping listeners, about helping other people. And, I'm one of those people, Barky, I'm an energy person, so I get very energized when I connect with others. And I come from a family who's, they're all business people, but they're also all, they've got great people skills, they love people. So that's always been my buzz. That's always been my passion to help others in dire need. So, yeah, my number's always freely available. It's up right in front of my house. It's there, it's available, so anybody can connect with me. 081 789 1094. 2 more tickets up for grabs. Let's keep it rolling. 2 minutes to go and 2 tickets to give away. Let's move on.
Tashifika say you look amazing, Adeline.
Thank you, darling. Now, is that a lady or a guy?
I'm not sure.
Okay, alright. Maak nie saak nie. Ek weet nie. Hoe pronounce jy dit nou?
Okay, I'm just breaking the name down. Tashifik.
Tashriq.
Tashiri.
No, Tashfik.
Tashfiq.
Okay.
Typical
Alright.
Tashfiq.
You can't just give it away. I need to know why I must give it to
Because he
Tashvi.
said you're nice.
He becomes a bit jealous when nobody gives him a compliment.
Oh, he
alright?
said he's a guy.
It's a guy.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a quick question.
Do you have money? Sorry, what am I saying?
What a Mulhouse. Never mind. We've got 60 seconds, Cyril. Final comment.
Okay.
Tashviq, that ticket is yours. One more ticket up for
Okay,
grabs.
Z is saying, is it possible to find out if one has been exposed to trauma?
Yeah, we did.
Absolutely. Definitely.
We did a show a couple of weeks ago on trauma, and some people are not aware. It comes out in the way you act, the way you behave, and
The way you respond to situations.
and the way
Yeah.
and the trigger points and all of
Yeah.
that, and some of the stuff that you're not even aware of.
Yeah.
And then in that, the therapist would basically figure out that you've had experienced some level of trauma in your childhood,
Yeah.
or you had a traumatic event, because sometimes
Yeah.
it's not always about childhood trauma.
I'm going to take one final comment. We are so over time, but just to remind people what's going to happen next week. Okay, he's always pushing it to the max. All right, Baki. We'll roll for another 5 minutes, Mr. McCree. Let's quickly move on.
Labia Jacobs is saying, hi, what are the tickets for?
Hey, so Warriors of Worth, that's Salama Abbas, Baki McCree and I, we kickstarted something called Warriors of Worth, right? And so basically when we have our workshops, it's a Q&A. So do you want to share with the viewers? Mala.
She does this when she runs out of words. When she puts
I
me
never
on.
run out of words.
No, so the whole idea is, like, for instance, next week the workshop would be on, not just your
Finding
identity,
yourself.
but it's about who am I. And so what we find is that a lot of the cures, if we can call it cures or solutions, to your life would have its starting point as a major intervention is to know who you are. Because then it's easier to know where you're going, where you want to go, what you would like to do.
And more importantly, you will find how you can connect with another individual on a deeper level. Because if you don't know yourself, how are you able to connect with somebody else, So, or know somebody else. Let's quickly move on.
Binat is saying, I love this lady. She's always demure and cutesy. I met her in person. Lovely lady.
Thank you, sweetheart.
But,
That's a ticket to you,
Yes,
darling.
already got the ticket. I think it's
No, she didn't. She's a new one.
It's the new one.
Yes.
Okay.
So you see, they've discovered the trick how to get a ticket is to just give you compliments.
Ha ha ha. Jealousy makes you
She's
nasty.
amazing.
Jealousy makes you nasty.
Labia also says lovely outfit.
Thank you, darling.
It's amazing.
All right, so 5.
Wow. We can go on all evening. You're looking amazing.
Please, can somebody please
No, I don't
give back your compliments tonight?
I'm okay. I don't give away tickets, man. She's giving away the tickets.
We partners. All right, that's 5 tickets. Sponsored by AR Wholesalers. We promise to give away Monday evening.
You've gone over the time. Please, the next person that compliments, it might be in vain, man. It might just be a waste of breath. You're looking fantastic, Adiela. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
No more tickets. Wait till Monday. You're a split second too late for that ticket. I suggest you say something shitty, like, I think you look crap.
I never look crap.
Minus
That is another hot topic to have. You know, the importance of, I always share with viewers and I always say, look good, feel good, right? So I don't know if you guys and dolls agree that, that when you look good, you feel good. And you
Look broke, but don't be broke. You can look broke, but please don't be broke. Or broken. Adiela goes the complete opposite. Look fabulous. Adiela normally cries after the show, so pray for Adiela.
Ek hou van lag.
The one guy that got a ticket, he's saying his name is Ashfik.
Ashfiq.
Yes.
Ashfiq.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he gave a pseudonym. Did he give a pseudonym earlier?
Yes, his name was not Legion.
Okay, so it's Ashfik. You better. Okay. Ashfik, how about a final compliment there for Adiela? I mean, she's longing for one more final compliment. Something about her shoes or the toes are a bit skinny, but something about the shoes. What do you think? Don't let the camera go too low. We're gonna see those toes.
Let's move on.
Labia Jacobs is saying, that sounds lovely. How do I apply for a ticket?
All right.
You had 3 left of last week, by the way.
Oh yes. Okay. Lucky
Yeah.
you. I had 3 left. Thank you for reminding me.
Labia has another question. How can I find out more about the workshop?
Okay. So
I'll
we
give
got
an explanation now, but first deal with the one before that. With the ticket.
yeah. So in a nutshell, so we're gonna accommodate about 50 people, right?
Not more than
So not more than that. But what will happen is I will go around, and you can pop your questions in a box. So Barking Salama will be dealing with that, and nobody knows. You're smiling. We'll get to that in a moment. Nobody will know who the question is coming from.
But we might identify your handwriting.
Ha ha ha. So it's a very safe space, and it's a very mature crowd. So feel free. We've got to wrap it up. One more.
Labia says, love the Vans.
Love that.
The Vans.
The camera, I think the camera went way too low. You were supposed to focus on the toes.
There's a compliment coming his way. One final comment.
Mickey says, if you can make her laugh and giggle.
Mickey, I haven't heard from you in forever, honey, but it's great to have you back on board. And one ticket to Mickey.
I was about to say, sorry, you're too late for the ticket. And
No. Mickey's one of our very first, the very first show that we had. Mickey was one of the first viewers that came on board.
Mickey? What if it's a different Mickey?
I think it's the same Mickey. Is it the same Mickey? Yay? Nay?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Alright guys, we've got to wrap it up. Again, my number 081 789 1094. If you want to purchase a ticket, it's only 120 Rand. It will be held in Park Road, Wynberg, and you will get the pleasure, you will get the opportunity to connect with Mr. McCree. You'll get to meet Salama Abbas, the Warriors of Worth crew, and it's going to be one dynamic workshop, not to be missed. 3 hours long. So next Saturday, 2:30 until 5:30.
Maybe you should just explain what's happening. I'll explain after that about the workshop, but you just explain what's happening next Monday, and there might be a few more free tickets for people to tune in.
Yeah, always have freebies. Thanks to my clients and the great business people around town. Okay, so Barky McCree can be contacted. He's actually a very good counselor. 082, there's a compliment coming his way. Yay! 082 346 5974. That's B McCree at yahoo.com. 082 346 5974. And for tickets or for advertising, if you want to keep your brand alive, connect with me on 081 789 1094. What was that, McCree?
Yes, somebody just want to say something before.
For those who want a ticket, how can they get a ticket?
Also your number.
Connect with me after the show.
And the people who want tickets must also connect with her. Because otherwise she forgets who want tickets. So I just want to end up by explaining, I don't think there's any more comments, but you know, when you do a show, when you do a workshop or seminar on who am I, it is very important that you look at where you're at the moment, identifying yourself. So a lot of people that we counsel, they don't actually know who they are. They don't know how they got to where they are now. They don't like where they are at the moment. They don't know what they've become. They don't like what they've become. They don't know how they got to that point. There's no analysis, no introspection. So the whole context of who am I is very, very important. And I love this cartoon. I promise you, I keep mentioning it. It's one of my favorite cartoons.
He suffers from amnesia.
No, seriously, even though I'm an adult, I love this cartoon because the context of who am I, where Johnny Depp plays this chameleon in this, this thing called Rango, this show called Rango. If you watch it, there's a deep psychological message in that cartoon. Who am I? The show is called Rango. And then the struggle Johnny Depp as the chameleon has throughout that whole cartoon to discover himself, who he is, what he wants to be, how he got to that point. It's so important.
It's very important to
Who are you, Adiela? Who are you?
I am A, adorable. D, Salama loves doing that in our workshop, and she goes like, Baki, B is for bombastic.
Or baboon.
A is for
apple.
Up. Okay, Sarah's saying, telling us time's up. So ciao, ciao.
Monday.
Adios, amigas. We're back Monday night, same time, same place. Solve the up.
God help us, man.
Bye.